Hello, and welcome to our virtual classroom using the power of green screen technology. Gotta love it. So I am missing all of you guys really bad, and so I wanted to feel like I was back in my classroom, and so here I am, virtually in my classroom. Now, before spring break, I told you that I'd be posting some things about the different parts of the brain that we've been learning about in class. And with those different parts, we're just gonna kind of modify the activity we're going to do in class. And what I would like for you to do is take that part of the brain that we're going over and then try to create an activity or a game that uses that part of the brain. Now, in order for me to know that you've done this, I'm going to have you either A, take a picture of it, or B, shoot a video of somebody doing that activity and then just shoot it to me through email. I'd love to see what all the interesting and exciting things you guys can come up with. Now, the thing is, this comes after your AMI work. So if you don't have time to do it, I totally understand. I'm not going to be upset with you or mad, so don't feel like I'm putting a bunch of pressure on you in order to do this. These are just different activities that you can do. That way, it just gives you more to do while we're at home. Because even though I love being at home, being stuck in the house and being social distanced, sometimes it's just a little boring, and so I need more things to do. And so just feel free to have fun with this activity. All right, so the part of the brain that we are going to be doing an activity for this week is the parietal lobe. It's one of my favorite. And matter of fact, if you take your hand and put it about right here, just behind the frontal lobe, that is where the parietal lobe is located. The parietal lobe is really cool because it is the part of the brain that processes sensory information. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, when I say sensory information, I just wonder sometimes, what am I talking about? Is that? Oh, those are some really good fruit snacks. You know, some of the best brands right here. Just tasty, so tasty. I love a good snack. What you may have already figured out from my really silly eating video is that our parietal lobe deals with sensory information such as taste, temperature, and touch. While I was eating my fruit snacks, several things were going on. First of all, I could taste it. I knew what it tasted like, and it was oh so good. Another thing that was happening was that not only could I taste it, but I could tell that the fruit snack was room temperature. It wasn't too hot and it wasn't too cold. And then there's also the fact that I could feel the fruit snack in my mouth, and I knew what my mouth needed to do in order to eat it. One of the things it also does is spatial information. And you're like, what is that? Well, it deals with coordination. And so while eating the fruit snack, I was eating, but my tongue, I never bit it. And so the parietal lobe is telling my tongue where to position itself in my mouth so I don't bite my tongue. And so it's just one of those little small things that it does that you may not even think about. Another thing it does with spatial information, it keeps me from running into things and falling down and being super uncoordinated. Without it, I would be falling all over the place and I wouldn't be able to keep my balance. And it also helps me to sense pain. So without the parietal lobe working properly, I may not actually be able to feel things with my hands or any other parts of my body, and so I wouldn't know if I was being hurt or not. So here's my challenge to you. We've talked about the parietal lobe dealing with touch, with taste, with the understanding of temperature, and with coordination and spatial information. And so what I want you to do is I want you to come up with an activity that uses one of those things. So something with touch, with temperature, maybe with spatial information, and even with taste, and show a way that you are using your parietal lobe. And as always, when you're doing these activities, make sure it's something that doesn't hurt you or somebody else. Because when we're talking about temperature, you don't want to get something super hot and have somebody touch it, or something silly like that. So make sure it's something that I would approve of in class, not just, dangerous things. Enjoy this activity. Just have fun with it. If you do it, send me a video or a picture of something that you've done, and just enjoy this time getting to explore a part of the brain that is really so important. I mean, just imagine if every time you ate something, you bit your tongue.